So this is probably the moment that many of you have been waiting for. It's time for us to examine the watches. And if you've been following the show also from last year, you might recognize our panel of expert guests, our watchmaking experts. In fact, they're familiar faces. To my left, we have Gianfranco Richel, Carson Chang, who survived a 40-hour flight yesterday to get here. So now that you've had a good sleep, welcome to the show, Carson Chan, and Joanna Lange, who came to us from Munich.
Good morning.
So great to have you all with us. I have to say, there are a lot of watches to get through. So Gianfranco, you have the honors of presenting the watches today. Let's start with you with the first piece, and this is Cartier, a piece with a lot of history behind it.
Yes, seems like you know this collection. Cartier Privé, Tank Normal. Every year Cartier launches one model in this collection, and this year we have here this recognizable tank with this rectangular design, with these recognizable Roman numerals, with the railroad track and the minute on the dial. But there is a specific code. You recognize perhaps this cabochon crown, also so typical on Cartier, which is not blue, but it's a red cabochon sapphire, which symbolizes this watch is not in stainless steel, not in white gold, but in platinum. A well-brushed platinum bracelet with a beautiful design, the polished side of the case here. A really fantastic piece, which, yeah, it's a typical Cartier tank. Unfortunately, only 100 people will be happy to wear one of these because it's limited for this quantity.
So next piece is from Cyrus Genève. And can we start with the color, in fact?
Yes, this Cyrus Klepsis here has, which by the way it's called also GMT palm green. And in fact, you can recognize this palm green dial and also the movement decorated with the rotor having this green color like on the dial. And it's in titanium, 42 millimeter diameter titanium case, and for the first time in the brand with a titanium bracelet fitting and integrating perfectly the design of the case. And you recognize there are two crowns, because one is for the time setting and winding of the movement, the mechanical movement, and the other one is to set the GMT, so you can switch 1 hour, and it's a retrograde GMT, not a normal GMT. That's the specificity of this beautiful creation.
So you have the honors of presenting the third piece, and this one comes from Grand Seiko. A lot to talk about here. Where do we start?
I think we should start by the description of the name. As in the name we have a code, a kind of secret code. The name says already everything. The pentagraph. So pentagraph, it's a combination of different messages, which means tenth. It's a tenth of a second vibrating balance wheel. It means 36,000 vibrations per hour, fast speed balance wheel. And the T stays for 3 days power reserve, which is really an achievement for such a high vibrating balance wheel. And the A stands for automatic winding, and graph, not only for chronograph, but the first mechanical chronograph in the Grand Seiko collection. So you see a lot of messages in this beautiful watch, having a ceramic bezel and this high density titanium case and bracelet with this special typical polish on the side of the case. Perfectly elegant and sporty.
So, Joanna, I'd like to move on to you now. You have 3 pieces that you'd like to present. The first one comes from Haute Lance, and why don't we talk about the shape of the case?